Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. This is the rise of Cornoe and we're really going from strength to strength over here. We now have both vehicle production and train production, railway production line underway in this area. What I'm keen on doing is just removing this name, seeing if it is possible to remove it. Exactly. So now all of this is Vasastavi Industrial Rail Production, right? So if we click Vasastavi Industrial, we have it up to about there. That's okay. I don't mind it. And then we've got this guy. If I remove that, would that work? It can. So where does this one go now? Vasastavi Industrial extends up to... No, not the platform. The industrial. No! Click the name. Where does it extend to? It doesn't quite extend to it. So I guess it's Vasastavi that's taking into that area. But that's okay. That's okay. I think Vasastavi Industrial Railway Production, similarly, we've kind of renamed some of these things already. But anyway, this should now quite comfortably be creating these things. I'm quite keen. Okay, let's up our numbers here, right? So let's get a few trains built. This is less important to us now because we've got so many of them active already. Now let's quickly go and have a look over here. Our new construction offices is not ready to go yet, and I guess we are actively building some of this stuff so that we can go ahead and replace some more stuff and add all of those vehicles into these facilities over here. I think that's basically the plan. Now, this area is kind of called what? Lipsipol, or something of that nature. Anyway, the rail is continuing here. If we look over here, these are done? Ooh, I like it a lot. These are underway. Our 2 rail tunnels are done, and our roads are done all the way up to there, plus our rail is being constructed fairly quickly. So anyway, progress is being made towards our port. Now, this will be the central port. It will be the area where we store all of our excess and from where distribution takes place to our forward distribution facilities. So if you've got a name suggestion for this area, it'll be quite a few episodes before we have this up and running. So if you have a name suggestion for our central port, please do leave them in the comments down below. So anyway, we are heading with the infrastructure in that direction. So we should be able to get there reasonably quickly. Let's have a bit of a look at what else we've got going. Now, over here, we looked in the last episode, and if we go back and see universities, right? Oh, we do. I did have a look at this. We do have a small university in play, but it's not quite accessible to anybody on this side of things. So I think what we may as well do is start building yet another university over here, maybe one of the smaller ones. A small technical university, I think is... Oh, no, not that guy. The smaller technical university is probably pretty good. But we also have a few of these, right? 35 one. What about this guy? That's pretty huge. And this guy? Actually, it actually looks pretty reasonable in this spot over here, and we do have most things assigned. So I think I may do this. It looks pretty natural right there. So let's do that. Let's build that. What I will do is I'll pay for this because these tiny pieces are very annoying to try and deliver, so we won't do that. But what I will now do is I will try and squeeze a little pathway through here. So what we'll do is we'll try and do it on this side, and then what we'll do is we'll move it away a little bit and run it on this side towards this area here, and we may as well tie it in like so. if we do that, we'll get a running over here, and that will allow us to ultimately get all of this going. Anyway, we'll leave that in so that we'll have a little bit more of a university vibe going on over here. Everything else does seem pretty comfortable in this area. Yeah, we're not struggling. We're really not. We're not struggling with waste at the moment. At the moment, we're not struggling with waste. Now let's keep an eye on this. How are we doing? Our first train is almost done. I wouldn't mind starting to swap out trains, but what I think the first thing is I'll do is I'll add our new train to this line so we get more people in here to come kind of do the rest of it. Oh, we've got this this school up and running, so now these guys shouldn't be complaining about school access, but they might still be complaining about a bit of a shop access. So let's see about adding an extra shop access over here. So let's just maybe do a grocery store. I'm thinking a small shopping center. That's a bit too big and doesn't have what we want. This doesn't have what we want either. We want 2 factory connections. Small shopping center. I think we've already got that in place, right? That's a bit too small. This is about right. So if we did a shopping center like this, let's have a quick look at that. Okay, so let's do that. That should tie in quite nicely with that road connection there. At the same time, we would like to have at least this. Let's turn that around. Oh no. We want the additional. I'm not sure this will work. At least if we do it like that, let's switch that on to see what this looks like. We need to give ourselves a bit of room like that. And similarly, we want something fairly small on this side. Now, the plan is hopefully we can do just like this. I believe that would work. And then what we can do is give ourselves a tiny little road cargo station, right? Where we've got the small ones. So that's 2 vehicles, 6 vehicles, 4 vehicles. Yeah, anyway, so one of these 2 vehicle varieties, that one or this one. This is the more compact of the 2. I think this should work. Yeah, that's fine. That is completely workable. Now let's see. Only thing I'm a little worried about is this. No, not a problem at all. Now this is the primary connection. We need to do that. Well, we'll leave that, let that go first. We'll let that one go in there, and we'll tie this one in. We'll get all of those going. We'll assign some crews for construction. This one I might pay for just because. And then what we'll do is we'll assign further construction items to be undertaken in this area. Okay, so let's get started on those so we can provide a little bit more areas for people to work on over there. Perfect. What is the situation with the crime rate? We still have tons of people not too thrilled with the crime side of things. The other thing that I kind of thought about, right? We've got small stations, right? Small in mods. What are these things? Road vehicle depots. Got a variety of them. They're all, these are all favorited. Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. So, what I'm after, now forget about it. I'm not everything. Just tell me everything, please. So, I'm after radio station. So that one there. And I'm after the TV station. Well, if you just say station. What is this stuff? Ooh. Oh, these are maybe small 110 kV circuit transformer. That feels a little not small to me. This is a large one. I'm not sure, right? This is very different to what we're getting, right? These guys are what do these things do? Large underground cable switchyard station. 22 kV large switchyard. I mean, what does this actually give us? I'm not too sure what this means. I don't quite know. What is this? What is this one? The rural substation. What is this one? A double circuit indoor substation. No idea. Some of these things, I've got some funky things, elevated train platforms and the likes. Small high voltage electrical substation. So some of these things, I've got a lot of like mods that looks to be quite cool, but I honestly don't know how necessarily I would be using them. What is this guy? Another substation. So anyway, some of these things looks to be quite interesting, but not something we'd be using straight away. What is this stuff? Stations, all kinds of stations and stuff. What I'm after is television. So let's search television instead, not television, but television. And here we do see that we've got some alternative television stations. Now, what I thought I might do, because I don't think I'll be drawing on the workforce over here because they've got the entire industrial area on them. But this area over here might actually be quite a useful spot for us to do a little bit of this. So what I might do is let's kind of level from center over here, just a tad, right? We'll do a bit of a pushback like this to see if we can't make do with something in here. Now, what I thought I might do is if I go television station. So here we have, that's a small one. That's a people broadcasting service, which I'm not quite sure of. But this is a small radio station, right? 50 people and the like. So I think something like this could be quite useful to us. Now, if we go with the television variety, that's pretty big. The other one is a lot more manageable, actually. Not sure I will be building it right there. But so this one, for instance, we could find ourselves a bit of a television station right here. So here we go. We could be providing ourselves with some room there that will have all of the services it needs, including power. Let's do place a television station there. And then let's try the smaller radio station also. In the same... There's infrastructure in the way there. And this looks to be pretty good. If we did that... Ooh, did that tie in? Oh, that tied in. I don't necessarily want that. So let's clear out that path there, and then we'll need to be building ourselves something. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll get a few paths to actively run to this area. So let's do that. Run the path up all the way over there. I like the idea of that, just more broadly speaking. And over here, what we'll do is we'll do this and that. That should be. Yeah, I like that. That's quite reasonable. Let's do that. Right, that'll give us a lot of options in terms of getting people to this spot. Right. So anyway, let's start assigning construction activities to our crews, and we'll get rid of that. So we'll have another round of Just we want to make sure we keep pace with like the civil infrastructure, like the radio station, stations, like. Okay. Do wonder how our train is going. We'll have a bit of a look at that at the moment. I don't know if we're going to do these guys over here. This is coming along nicely. We'll give it a little bit more room. Is this all built, or we're still? I think we're putting the finishing touches on this, right? Yeah, that's already all connected. So we may as well go ahead and assign some more pieces of infrastructure there. So let's grab our facility here. I wouldn't mind getting a few of those things. Oh, there's plenty that's currently underway as it stands. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So let's go here. So that area is underway, but what we will want to do is we want to do this and that and that and that and that. I'm not sure that'll all be working, but at least that'll give us a little something, and then we'll do this one at a later stage if we feel that's kind of part of what we need to do. This is further afield. We'll go into that direction. And what I was wondering about, right? This area, we could, in this area, because we've got oil right here, right? We don't necessarily have oil there, but I think my plan here is let's get rid of this pathway. Okay. Now, with that pathway away, I thought what would be quite useful for us is to do something like plastics, right? So plastics or not necessarily plastics, but maybe chemicals. So if we go, what do we have here? Chemicals. So I want to see maximum production. 1, 2.7, 5. Ooh, 9.4, and that's a vanilla. Ooh. That is humongous. That is absolutely massive. And it could fit there. Let's have a bit of a look at our levels. It is nighttime, so let's not do it right now. That thing is enormous. And it generates, obviously, a ton of pollution. But compared to the normal size and the so minuscule amounts that it's actually producing, this one is 5. And that's pretty good too. Plus it has some rail access. Now, the issue we have is this is the spot where we are we can bring rail access in here, right? If we squeeze it in there, right? We can pipe in some stuff, yeah. And we can have rail access. It's gonna be tough though to have rail access right here. If we now switch this on, could we do it sensibly over here and have people walk here? Is what I'm questioning. This needs water and waste, which is fine. So if we flip it around, we can get the pedestrian connectivity to work, but we can't necessarily get the rail connectivity to work. So if we did it over here, for instance, I mean, this is a bit tight, so we might have to have a bit of a look at this, but this one is huge, and it has a rail piece in there. I'm tempted. Rail, however, is we have rail. If we were to find a spot here that makes sense. I'm not sure we have the room, but man, that would be awesome if we could. And I guess in an ideal world, we could actually walk those people in here. But anyway, let's park that just for a second. But I think that is what we want to do. Now, do we have a train? Oh, yeah, we have a train. Another train is back up and running. Here we got a brand new train. Wow, we don't get much dollars for it, but we do get a fair bit if we wanted to sell it. But we don't want to sell it. Let's have a bit of a look at our new train set. It looks pretty damn cool, if I have to say so myself. In terms of color schemes, oh, it's got 2 options, and I like that option best. Now, what we want to do, I don't think we can. Can we? Can we send it over there? No, we cannot. So we need a depot. If we wanted to run these trains a little bit more aggressively, we need a depot in here. And I don't think we've got the room to add a depot to the mix. Anyway, we can send it to a different depot. Anyway, keep building. Keep building more of them, because we will be using them. But what I want to do is assign it to something that we're going to use. So we do need more rail depots, actually. Where exactly? I'm not sure. I'm not sure we've got what it takes straight away. This should now be powered, right? Yeah, these guys are sorted. Look at this. This looks cool, huh? This little area we've got going over here. People are doing their thing, getting nice and educated over here. But these guys going on. Do we have any more of these vehicles hanging out? The fancy ones? The fancy black ones? No, we do not. These are like weirdo police cars. What are we building over here? We still have a few things in the queue right there. But anyway, first things first, let's get this train to go to, yeah, we need depots to go to that depot, and then from there we'll assign it to that service so we can actually run it. What's going on? Something is wrong. What is wrong? Ooh, oh, this is the fancy new train making a run. Yeah, we're gonna swap them out. We're gonna swap them out. So what I guess is happening now is we're not seeing enough workers get there. But anyway, we'll sort that out with the new train. I'm sure of it. I'm sure it will be quite useful to us. Keep going on the trains. We'll keep building trains. We'll keep building these guys. Yeah, we're not getting any workers to these sites. So it's basically taking everybody. So what I do is let's at least drop it down a little bit. So even these guys, it's gonna not drop off all. Wow, pretty much everybody. Okay, let's have a look at this guy. So Vasestavi. We don't get in and out. We're just going to unload here at the industrial train platform. And we're going to unload whatever we've got. But maybe only like 60%, right? And then we'll do the rest. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Then instead of doing that, we'll just do this. But we don't want to be unloading everybody. So now it's going to go here. It's just going to unload like 60%. So it keeps a bunch of people on board to go, right? So now, at least with the extra trains, we can still fill up to 400. We're just we're making sure we're not unloading everybody. Other people have to work other places as well. Okay, now our new train should have arrived here exactly right? So I would like to assign you to a line, and you're going to go to Vasestave workers. And yeah, make a start, please. Straight away, please. Thank you. So that means we will get more workers to go there straight away. Happiness. Yeah, we there's a few things we need to have a look at, right? Are we creating and importing and all of these kind of good things? Are we getting enough? Clothing. We might be running out of clothing. Fabrics, we're certainly not creating substantial amounts of fabrics. Even food is dropping quite sufficiently. So significantly. So this cluster that's been serving us so well, now that we're over 40,000 people, we really need to have a bit of a look. Now, what I find, so we should have a city hall of sorts here, right? Cornoe Harbour Culture over here. Cornoe Harbour City Accounting Office. Let's pause it there while we've got the stats in play. So good productivity, unemployed workers 22 only. So there are no workers ready to go in this area. We built a police station over here that is doing its thing. So police activity should be reasonable. I can add an extra car to that, by the way. Let's quickly do that while we've got it going. We've got the cars ready to go. So we'll do that. We'll get the extra police car assigned. If I can find what I'm looking for, which is over here somewhere. Get it assigned. Just get an extra police car assigned, and hopefully we'll get the crime sorted. So while we're here, let's have a quick look at the situation with crime. Unpatrolled crimes. I don't see any within this area. If we look at criminality in general, we do still see a little bit of the 3%ers going on over here. I guess that's probably just a little bit on the high side, but maybe we're reasonably well sorted. If we look at our prison, yeah, it's pretty full, to be honest. We just don't, we can't add anybody here because we don't have any workers. What we can do is we can potentially sort of add a food production facility in one of these areas. Right? We could do some substantial food production over here. But yeah, the complexity of our rail system is not ideal, but or over here even, because we will have large amounts of workers ready to go in this area. Okay, perfect. Here comes our new train going into service now. Hopefully it is going to load up on huge amount of workers. How many? Keep going. 512. So fully loaded set. Now it's heading out. It's a little bit quicker than our other trains. Fortunately, that guy took precedence there. It's a bit of a waste train. This is getting quite complex over here, to be honest. Hopping in here. Yeah, that's a good unload there. And we'll have a good unload over here, and hopefully everybody's going to be happy and working. Yeah, anyway, we've got the blueprint for this guy, so we'll keep going with these guys for quite a while. Now, everybody's been taken off there, so that's fine. So let's quickly pop in. We'll go to the trains. We'll go here and say, guys, I would like you to please replace... No. Just hang on. What is our stuff? Yeah. From... Yeah. So we don't want to replace from depot, guys. We want to replace from vehicle storage. We don't have crazy amounts of guys in the depot. So if we click it now, we'll effectively say we're replacing with these guys. And what is the okay, we're not purchasing new at all. So now we can go automatic, and now we can say wear and tear is at 50%, and the vehicle age is, let's go with 30 years. Should be able to do that. So what I would like us to do is that too much? Do we go with 40 years instead, and we go wear and tear of 50%, and then we'll replace in that way. So this guy will replace like so. Yeah, the one that we have. That guy, and then this guy replaces like so. Yeah, so that's fine. It's brand new. That's all good. We still have trams running. Yeah, we'll have to have a bit of a look. Is there a tram that we would like to buy? But I guess no. What we need to do is get some locomotives going. So let's get these color codes going. We'll go in here. We'll have a look at the blueprint. if we look at trams, is there anything in the tram business that would make sense for us? Electrical trams that is actually pretty speedy. $72. 72 seems to be the top, right? That takes 150 passengers. And this one over here takes 88 passengers. So maybe something like this is useful, or I just call the trams all together and have another look. I think maybe I call the trams all together at this point because they're not quick enough and they're not, yeah, so it's very, very low key kind of stuff there. Okay, but anyway, what I am keen on doing is let's have another look at blueprints and let's have a look at electric locomotives. So, and we're after the speed, right? So these guys are at 160. And these guys are at 160, but they're pretty powerful, right? But really, this guy is going to be our workhorse. And if we're going to buy one, I guess that is going to be the one for us. This is the strongest one of all. It, I guess, uses the most of everything. But if we're going to buy anything, we're going to go ahead and buy this guy. Okay? So now we've got that going. So let's build a couple of those. Then what we'll do is we'll build like 4 of them to have them ready to go. But really, that's going to be about it for the time being. That cost us a lot of money. We spent like 40 million rubles on blueprints for rail. For train facilities. So I guess we're getting there. Yeah, that's good. So keep going. We've got a pretty strong set of trains running here now. No place to finish stored vehicles. Okay. Let's have a look. We definitely want to. We can start moving some of the guys over, right? That built, that's done. Oh, not done yet. So we're close, right? So can we bring the guys? Can we bring some of the guys a little bit closer so that they're nearby? Yeah, I mean we have a few of them over here. We don't really have. These aren't using anything. So let's get a few vehicles to come out this way while we finish off. What we've got going for ourselves over here. So let's grab a few of the vehicles. So we would be after these guys, right? So we'd want one of them, a road crane, these 2 guys, and is that it? And those 2 guys, okay? Yeah, so those are a couple of vehicles. At least when we move them out, we'll at least have something to work on. So let's send them all over here. So let's get them to move. And what we'll obviously remember is that we... Yeah, so there's 6 more vehicle spaces. Well, small vehicle spaces. Let's clear out that. We definitely don't want to build that. Let's move out some vehicles, and hopefully we can build a few while we get our new facilities up and running, and then we'll move those facilities over there. Now, what I thought we might also do over here is let's build another prison, because I do wonder about prisons, and our prisons are pretty full, and maybe that's part of our problem. So if we go into the crime and justice piece and we have a look at prisons, this one looks a little awkward. How many prisoners? 90, 64, 180, 210. 210, too big. 180, yeah, way too big. This one, 90, seems like a reasonable little adaptation of what we see over here, right? So I'm What's the infrastructure in your way? Yeah, so I'm pretty keen on this maneuver. So we will do that. Okay, and we can get the guys to start working on it. At the same time, we need some paths and the likes to go in there as well. So let's, while we're at it here, give us a bit of a path to go there. Yeah, and get the guys to build it. So build, and we'll get the helicopters to make a start over here. So that should get us going and give us a little bit of action on this side. At least an extra prison will be quite helpful over here. But secret police, we don't have the cars in play that we would like to see in play over there. But anyway, it's going there. This guy, will there be... I guess we just have to keep on building these things. Slowly letting go of these guys. But ultimately, I want to run them over this way as well. And they can. We can also run them over this way, but obviously not part of that operation unless they come back on themselves. So at the moment, how are they going? They're going up here. And then they're running over that way. And they're not coming in this way. Yeah, so I'm kind of wondering whether we... Yeah, if anything, I think we'll run a separate train that does this stop and that stop. We can't actively come in this way. Can we go back out? I guess not really. I was kind of wondering whether that's something that's potentially achievable. I think with a little bit of playing around, we could maybe make it work so that they can come in, can go out, and go out that way. I think maybe we'll do that. This isn't a very busy setup, so what we'll do, let's have a bit of a look here. So I want to set up a new train system that's gonna help us out here, right? So from this point, maybe okay. Let's just trim this guy for the time being, and we'll say from here. Can we just do it straight and get it done with? This doesn't feel. Maybe we just do this. Right, and then what we'll do is we'll do that. And then what we'll do is we'll do this. But we'll need to... Okay, so pause it for a second while we mess around with these things. And then what we'll do is we'll do that. Right, so now it means they can actually actively get out here and go back to where they're coming from. I just don't quite like what we're seeing here. So maybe instead of doing this one, what I'll do is we'll switch off the snapping and try and tie in something like that. That looks a little bit better to me. Let's trim that back a little bit more, and then we'll go ahead and tie that in like so. I think that will be useful because that means they'll come in, but this guy can still flip over, go into that broader direction. The question mark in my mind is, do we need to look at something like that? And I think the answer to that question is absolutely, positively yes. But can we will need to, okay, hang on. So let's get rid of that. We'll quickly redo these few pieces here. We'll need to pull them back a little bit more. So unfortunately, we are going to see a little bit more of that maneuver there and a little bit more of that maneuver there to head out into that direction. And then the idea needs to be, oh, we still can't do it? Oh, come on, guys. That's not quite right. trying that one more time. So if we wanted to get as close as we potentially can here, those two spots, and then what that means is we'll have to go from here and from there to get them to go out into whatever direction. So that actively gives us the ability to go in and then go out to this direction. I'm going to pay for this because that is just way too difficult under normal circumstances. Now, what we will be doing over here is we'll be adding some new signals there. And we'll be adding some new signals over here so that this guy, well, strictly speaking, we need to do it. Ooh. Next. Like so, and then this one just needs to be like that. And then on this side, this thing, that guy's just gonna run off straight into there. I guess that's okay. Realistically speaking, I think that's okay. Okay, so now we've got this going. So that means we can actively run a passenger train that pops in here and then pops in there and goes over there. So it's not going to come into this area. Because that's just in the too hard pile at the moment. But I guess that'll be okay. Okay, so give me my new train. Move to your new depot facility. And we'll set up a new train. And that will give us another incentive to keep on building up a little bit more here because we've got so many workers in this area. Honestly, this is looking really good. And we've got a bit more room. Oh, it's practically built. My goodness. Not working at this stage, but practically built. I'd like to do a bit of that. We'll get whoever has been working on things to now. Do that, and we'll get the helicopters to start working on that. And we'll get the pathways to continue straight into there. Probably from this side, so we have that sorted. Now, can we? Yeah, we can. So let's forget about this for a minute. Let's quickly clear that one out, and then what we'll do is we'll get this path to. Really, is that what we've got? Get that to go there, and we'll get it to. So maybe that's not what we want. Maybe what we'll do instead is we'll just tie it up like that. And similarly, we'll get this guy to tie in over there. Okay, so we'll get that under construction. So we'll get whoever we can to come and build these options. Hopefully that will be used over here and we can start bringing some stuff in fairly quickly to sort this out. So we need a distribution facility. Who is actively bringing in? Let's just have a quick look. So we want to see who's bringing in the meats, right? The meats. Who's bringing in the meats? Okay, so Tomic Industrial Big Distribution, right? Where are you? So you are bringing in the meats. Bring in the meats. But you only have one. Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. So you're bringing in the meat. So what I'll do is I'll get you to also go here. Pause it while we just do the unload. A minute. So you'll go there. You'll do that. So we'll get in the meats over there. For now, let's just switch on the meat. And what we'll do is once this is finished, we'll do up the limits and we'll move the meats and everything. At least we're starting to get some meats going in here now. But yeah, we should be able to sort that out. Now, we've got the new train probably over here. Yes, we have. So grab that train. Oh, no. Grab that train. Pull it aside. Yeah. Now, we'll need to set up a line, right? The idea here is we are starting here, right? Because ultimately we'll add more. Then we'll pop in here. We'll say, buddies, load up on workers wherever you can. Then you're going to bypass this guy. You're going to bypass all of this, and you're going to pop in here. Here you are going to unload workers. But I guess no more than 50%. Okay? Then you're going to pop in here, and you're going to unload the rest, right? 100%. Right? And maybe even one train is going to be more than sufficient to cover that. Then you're going there. Question marks, you can't come back up this way. Okay? So, not going to work. Maybe we can make something work here, but you'll still have to do that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, when you come back, now the question is, do we drop off some guys over here as well? And then can you go back out to that direction? I think we can. Okay, so then you come in over here and you unload even more. Okay, so I guess that gives us a lot going on, right? So let's do, so you've got 50% there. Then you're going to do another 50%, even more, 75%. 70%, and then here you're going to do whatever you've got left, right? So there's going to be typically pretty minimal amount left in this area. So I guess that is the plan, right? So this is Vasestavi construction industry. Okay, we'll do that, right? So that's going to be what we're doing, and we'll save it. And we'll say, go, gadget. Okay, so I'll need to have a bit of a look at it, but I think the rail is set up to accommodate that pretty easily. If we have a quick look at this area, right? I just want to check you can come in. So you can come in. Oh, you cannot come in. Okay, you cannot come in. Okay, so let's do that. Give me... Okay. Let's sort it out. Let's... Oh, you can really not come in. Okay, hang on. Let's do that. Pay for that, okay? So you can come in, okay? Then, over here, we're going to say... mixed. Actually, not mixed. You're going to be chain. You're going to be mixed. Right, so you're going to wait there until this thing is green. And then you will have to be mixed going that way. So now you can come into either one of these. Yeah, that's fine. And then you can go out this way. I think. Hang on. Do that. Clear this one out. Okay. So you should be able to at least clear out all the way that way. And similarly, I think we should be having a bit of a look at this guy who's now not quite playing ball here, right? So you can go in there. And then over here, you need to be chained. That should at least sort things out a little bit for that. Okay, perfect. All good. So I guess that will work now. Luckily, I did check because otherwise we'd have some more stuff to deal with. Now, once all of this is done, we should be in a pretty good spot. Now, we should have moved a few people. So This guy should still be building without any problems. This guy is building another train set. Oh, interesting. It's starting again after it's done that one and done the 4. But anyway, it should keep going. And this guy... Wow. This guy's working, but not very hard, it seems. Just see, you should be working without too many issues, really. Yeah, just keep going. We want to make sure we are getting into trouble. We are getting into trouble. We need way more workers. So hopefully this new train. This is the new train for the Vasistavi. Okay, excellent. Let's have a quick look at this. I want to keep a bit of an eye on that. So let's quickly run with it. These trains are awesome. I love these trains. And they're pretty big. 500 workers is a good number. I feel the 300 is not quite there. Okay, so this guy is loading up big time. It's a full load. I love it. A full load every time is awesome. Get out of the way, move towards where you want to go. I'm gonna go and run around a little. Let's have a bit of a ride along. See how this whole thing works. It's cutting through there. A bit of an autosave going on there. Clearing that out. Excellent. Pretty speedy through there and turning in, and we are dropping off some workers. Did anybody get out? Hang on. Let's just have a look. There are a few people that got out. Okay. Cut through there. We're gonna pop into not this one. Into this area here. We're gonna unload. Okay, we've unloaded a bunch of workers there, and we're popping back out in this direction. Excellent, that works quite well. We're moving. Now we want to see if we can get into the next one. There we go. We're popping in there quite easily, and we should be unloading everybody else. I like it. That's pretty much a done deal. We want to see that we can get out again. Yeah, no problems getting out and heading into the right direction back into our setup over here. Okay, excellent. That's good. I like it. So I think, obviously we didn't get everybody unloaded, but it's pretty good, and that means we can start redistributing some of the Satomic guys to go back. But anyway, we should be clearing out more of this now. Okay, so that's excellent. That's very good. Guys, I think we're in a good spot. This takes a bit of time, but I think we've got a reasonable amount of workers running in there. We want to keep distributing some stuff. Okay, so let's quickly go back over here as a bit of a look at where we're at. These guys are actively under construction. This one is not. Let me pay for that. So with this in mind, I guess we can just make sure to assign some activities over here so that construction is ongoing. This should be done. Yeah, this is done. Okay, and that is done. So what I'll do in the meantime is I'll quickly add that, pay for that. Okay. I will then add this. Oops, get that going. And what we can do is straight away get to work on this. So let's get 3 and 4 underway over here so that we can at the very least start populating this. We should have some stuff hanging out over here. that's good. And our rail construction activities over here is done. I'm not quite seeing where we're at with any further activities over here. Even this guy is still underway. Let's go over here. Do still want to have a look at whether we can make anything work from the perspective of some chemical production. I'm happy to report that this is looking really solid in terms of where we're at with our infrastructure over here. Now, it does seem that there's a section here that's not actually actively sorted out with regards to pantographs or sorry, the electrification of the rail track. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But this is looking really good. So our rail connectivity into this area underneath the infrastructure there is going to be pretty good. I do want to get onto this bridge here as well. I do want to expand Vasastavi a little bit more so that we've got tons of workers ready to go all the time. It does look pretty good, I must say. From a worker perspective, we're not struggling too much. We'll get this one up and running, and then we'll add another whole stream of residential buildings in that area to up our numbers even more. That would be super cool if we can do that. This is a very efficient town, I must say. This town is I'm quite proud of what this town is doing. It's running a mine, it's running a major industrial area, and it's all kind of working. I'm not saying it's running at like 100% efficiencies, but it is pretty good. We can move 2 more vehicles over that way. Can we maybe we do some of these longer open holes? Let me grab 2 of these open holes. We're definitely going to use the open holes. We'll move them over that way, and then we'll end the episode and come back in the next one to continue this journey. There's obviously so much to be done. There's a train waiting too long somewhere, but I guess that is par for the course in the sense that they are actively building rail track. Yeah, I'm not gonna be bothered by that too much. Anyway, we'll move 2 vehicles out so we can use some more vehicles, and then I want to move all of those vehicles out before I start selling some of our other vehicles. But really, our replacement strategy is working quite well. Oh, the one thing that is missing over here, I'm just spotting it now, is not that we need it, is this. So let's go ahead and actively get that built as well, so that we can get those rail items going there straight away. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that like button. I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.